telling me you took after some bear when you were out haying it with a pitchfork?
Yeah,
Who was the other fellow that did that with you?
this kid,
Another? Do you remember his name?
yeah, Alex Scott,
Alex Scott?
yeah,
Well, sure. He still lives around this country, doesn't he?
yeah.
Sure. Do you suppose he'd remember you guys chasing the horse with a pitchfork? I mean, the bear with a pitchfork?
Probably would.
I've seen bear run though, and I don't think a guy would have much of a chance.
No,
I think a guy'd be better off standing his ground instead of trying to run away from a bear. Unless there was a tree mighty handy.
yeah, but he climbed that tree too.
He'll go up the tree too, yeah.
No, I found a big fir tree one time and brought that stick on the
Yeah?
stump. And I'm going to cut it up for firewood.
Yeah.
And we laid there for a while,
Drying out.
drying out.
Yeah.
And right alongside of it was a big Saskatoon bush.
Uh-huh.
And I could see this black thing. And I said, oh, there's a bear.
Yeah.
He, guess I scared him. He came out to see what the hell it was.
Yeah.
He took after me.
The bear did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He didn't want to give up his Saskatoon berries.
No.
Yeah.
And, I had about 50 yards maybe to run. Right into the back of the shop and slammed the door on him.
Did he stop at the door and growl and carry on outside the door, or did he just wander away?
He wandered away.
Yeah. Huh.
Big brown bear.
Have you ever seen the case where the berry crop failed or something, and then the bears would come into towns and into the ranches for garbage and stuff? Like the frost got the berries and that they would normally eat, or didn't that happen too often around here?
No.
That would happen back in Minnesota where I grew up, and the bears would come right into town
Mm-hmm.
looking for food, you know. Just like big dogs all over.
Well, up at the nickel plate mine,
Yeah.
somebody got a bear, a cub,
Uh-huh.
and tamed it.
Uh-huh.
After it got to be fair size, maybe a year old or more, and they turned it loose. That's the worst thing they ever done.
Oh.
It just went through all the garbage pails and everything.
He wasn't afraid of man?
No.
Yeah. So he had no respect for man, yeah. Yeah. Have you ever had these on exhibit anywhere?
No.
You never have? They've got a little exhibit now down at the public library in town here. And when I went in there, they knew I did some wood carving, so they asked me if I'd like to put some of my wood carvings in there. And
Mm-hmm.
so I've got a couple of them in there. The plaques, you know, that I've made, things like that.
Well, I'm afraid to take them out.
Somebody take them.
Somebody take them.
Yeah.
And there's a whole winter's work in there.
Yeah, you got a whole bunch of little deer there.
Yeah.
There's 8, 9 of them there.
And that bucky was the hardest one to make for the horns.
I'll bet you. Yeah. Made them out of poplar, you said?
Yeah.
Poplar wood, yeah.
Cottonwood.
Cottonwood, that works good. Carves nice.
Yeah. It's soft.
Just with a jackknife? Or did
No,
you
I
have a
had
chisel or?
Broken saw,
Yeah.
rasp, file.
Uh-huh. How did you finish them? What's that brown? Is that
Shellac.
that's shellac?
Yeah.
That's orange shellac, huh? Yeah. Well, that made a nice finish. It looks like deer color.
Yeah. Going around the ranch, I had 5 or 6 sets of horns up on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
big sets.
Big sets, yeah, yeah. Nailed on the barn wall.
Hmm.
Where did you have them nailed up?
In the house.
In the house, oh yeah. Whatever happened to them?
I don't know. So we left.
You sold the place, horns and all, huh? That was a bonus. Nowadays, people are trying to find those old sets of horns, you know, because the racks these days aren't that big. They don't get this big anymore.
No.
So they're trying to find those old sets. They found one set, I remember, and it was a world record. Great, huge white-tailed deer record. And they never found out who shot it. So it's the world's record, but they don't know who got it.
Well, white-tailed deer, they ain't quite as big as the
Mule deer.
ordinary deer.
The mule deer is much bigger, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could pretty well tow a mule deer out of the wood. I mean, a white-tailed deer out of the woods, but not a mule deer. Takes two guys to tow a deer out of the woods when you got a big mule deer.
Mhm.
3 sometimes I would think would be better, especially if you have to go up any hills.
Yeah.
I suppose you snaked them out of the woods with horses, didn't you?
Well, I generally pick them up right there.
You did?
And you,
Oh yeah. And would you put them on a pack then? Pack a board?
yeah.
Carry 1 quarter out at a time? Or 2 quarters?
2 quarters.
Would you?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Did you ever have any trouble with those flies? You know those flies in the heat when they come around and lay their eggs?
Yeah.
You did have trouble with those, huh?
Yeah, talking about packing. I was packing for a forester one time, and they started up a camp in the hills, and I had 3 horses and we were packing. And I put 100 pounds on the one horse,
Mm-hmm.
and he promptly unloaded them.
He did.
Yeah,
Got rid of it. He didn't want that.
didn't want it, so I put on 200 pounds.
Oh yeah.
And that didn't last much longer.
Yeah.
But, the foreman said, "Oh, you turn the damn thing loose," he said, and let him go home. And oh my God, he's going to pack it. So,
Yeah. If you let him go, he'd do that again, wouldn't he?
yeah. So put on 3 sacks of potatoes on him.
300 pounds. Yeah.
Of
Yeah.
course, he was a big horse.
Yeah.
And he took him right to the camp door.
Uh huh.
And he unloaded them.
He bucked them right off, huh?
Yeah.
Gee, what would the potatoes be like after they'd hit the ground 3 times like that? A few bruised ones, huh?
Yeah.
Gee. What was that horse's name?
Duke.
Duke, huh? I've had some funny experiences with horses too. I'll tell you one of them was, we were going up in the mountains and this horse, he knew I was kind of a greenhorn, so he decided, well, he wasn't going to do what I told him to do. He had a mind of his own, so. We came to these trees, you know, and he wanted to go around the trees. And I said, no, you're going through the trees. I really gave it to him on the reins, you know, and I wrenched him around and put him through the trees. And he jammed me right in between. Skinned my knee. He knew there wasn't enough room between the trees.
Yeah.
And so when I forced him to go in there, he just looked around and said, okay. Bang. Got my shins and knees.
Yeah.
Horses are pretty smart.
Oh God, yes. I put a pack on this horse one time in the barnyard. I can put a firefighters. And we got them all packed and everything. And he decided to unload it.
That was Duke again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the gate was open.
Yeah.
And he went through there. He went all the way around the pasture. And we found him picking up stuff that he'd fucked up.
All your equipment laying around, huh?
Yeah, groceries, grub.
Needless to say, you didn't pack too many fresh eggs or things like that along, huh?
No.
Not on a horse. Yeah, I'd like to go on a horseback trip one of these days. I haven't been on a horse for years.
No. I haven't been on a horse for 3 years now either.
3.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where did you take your last trip? Where did you go last time you were on one?
Well, just up on the range or something.
Up by
that.
Tulameen there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have they still got your horse up there?
No, he died.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah. Was that Nig? Was that your good horse you had that was Nig?
No.
Didn't you have one named Nig?
Yeah, it's in there.
Oh yeah, well he would be long gone, yeah.
Yeah. And
You still have your saddle?
no.
No, that's gone too, huh? Did you ever make dandelion wine?
No,
There's sure enough dandelions this year out here.
I don't care for it.
You don't care for wine? No.
Not that. What I like best of all is apple juice.
Just straight good apple juice, yeah. Did you guys ever press apple juice? Make your own apple juice?
No.
You got it down here at Caramias.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny, there aren't many apple trees up this way.
Too cold.
Just not many apple trees, yeah.
Too cold.
Yeah. Kill the blossoms and all of
Yeah.
that.
You're down about halfway between here and Hidray,
Mm-hmm.
and you raise them.
Mm-hmm. But we're just a little too high here.
Yeah. Yeah, but the ranch we were 2,700 feet.
Yeah, that's another 500.
Yeah.
How about plums? Could you grow them out there?
Nothing.
Nothing, no tree fruits, huh?
No.
Yeah. Nora's got a few apples in her yard there.
Does she?
Yeah, you know, on Otter Street there, Otter Avenue, I guess it is,
Yeah.
the main avenue. But I don't think they use them very much. They're green apples, you know.
Yeah.
They aren't really eating apples.
No. No, I've tried apples a couple of times. The only things that would grow is crab apples.
They would grow.
Oh, God, yes.
They're not bad eating.
No.
I like those little tart things, you know. You get those when they're kind of on the green side, you know, not when they get too ripe.
No, there used to be a fellow come up from Osuyas, I think it's just where he was from, peddling fruit.
Yeah.
And we'd buy fruit from him and pay him crab apples.
Oh, he wanted the crab apples.
Yeah.
Oh, he traded off even.
Yeah.
Wonder what he did with those. I'm going to shut the door now. Wonder what he'd do with all the crab apples.
Well, he'd sell them.
Oh. Of course, they probably didn't grow them down there, huh?
No, not the kind we had.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were little red sour apples.
Yeah. Yeah. They make really good jelly.
Yeah.
Boy, that's good stuff. I can taste that now. Crab apple jelly. Crab apple jelly on fresh bread just out of the oven. Man, I'm going to make myself hungry if I keep talking like this. Hey, did you ever dry any of your meat? Preserve it by drying it?
No,
You always can it?
canned it, sure.
How would you do that? Did you put it in crocks with salt, or did you put it in jars
Chives and it and get it.
and boil it? You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and seal it up then.
one time my father-in-law, he got a bunch of corn down the Fraser Valley.
Yeah.
He had a regular stove for putting it on.
Uh-huh.
There were too many, and so he says to his wife, he says, let's put them in the oven.
Oh, and dry them out?
No,
What?
they exploded.
He had an oven full of popcorn.
Huh?
He had popcorn.
Yeah. It blew the door off in the oven.
It did. Gee.
Yeah, and I forget what kind of food it was. Corn.
Yeah.
There was corn on the ceiling and corn on the floor and everywhere.
And you had to fix the oven to boot. Probably put the hinges back on, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. My grandmother one time, she was pressure cookering stuff, you know. Using one of those pressure cookers with a little deal on the top, you know,
Mm-hmm.
where it gets real high temperature inside. And the lid flew off of it. Went right up through the ceiling. Boom!
Well, I'll tell you what I done one time when I was a kid. I always had a few 22 shells in my pocket.
Yeah?
And we had a wood stove in the school.
Yeah.
Full of meat.
Yeah.
And she says to me, she said, put some wood in the stove.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I put some wood in the stove and I reached in my pocket and put 22 shells.
Yeah?
They went up.
The kids were diving for underneath their tables and chairs, huh?
No,
they know?
They knew what was coming.
Oh, they'd seen you do it, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
Only the teacher had her back turned. But
What happened then? What did the teacher do?
Nothing.
She didn't do anything, huh?
No,
What was her name?
I forget.
Oh. Henry, you wouldn't do things like that. You did though, huh?
Yeah.
You had a bit of mischief in you.
Well, I had plenty of it. I don't know if I told you this, but Jack Finn had an Englishman
Yeah.
out from the old country.
Yeah.
Did I tell you that?
Yeah, what a beautiful animal.
Yeah.
Poor bugger. Yeah. Those poor Englishmen, they must have had a tough time when they first came over.
Yeah.
You know, they were so cultured,
Mhm.
so naive. They figured
Yeah.
everybody was a gentleman, they figured, didn't they?
Yeah.
They'd walk right into the Westerners.
They soon get broken in. I shot a deer one time. I shot 2 deer with 1 shot.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you about that.
I think so. You went up there and there was 2 of them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One came through one and hit the other out of them.
You had a bit of packing to do then, huh? Did you give one of them away or did you keep both?
We keep them both.
Yeah.
Winter time.
That venison was very welcome, wasn't it, around your house?
God, yes.
How often would you eat it, you suppose? Like, you didn't want to butcher your cattle because that was your money, right?
Yeah.
That was your cash crop.
Yeah.
So, but would you eat beef once in a while too?
Oh, yes.
But let's say, during a week in the winter, about how many meals of wild game would you have, say in a 7-day period?
7 meals.
Wild game, 7 meals in a row?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Moose, or wasn't there any moose around?
No, no moose, just deer.
Just
mule
deer.
deer.
Yeah. Ever get any goats?
I didn't know, but I've ate goats who were up on the electric and two fellas went out
Uh-huh.
and got a goat in.
Uh-huh.
Well, you talk about meat.
Did you like it?
Oh, God.
You really enjoyed it, huh?
It was really good.
What made it so good?
I know, I guess maybe the way it was cooked.
Oh.
You would put it on and I had a fire outside and just put the meat on a stick and boiled it in the fire.
Oh, gee, I'll bet you're hungry. You got hungry watching that cook, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it'd taste a little smoky too, wouldn't it? There'd be a little smoky flavor in it.
Well, it might have been.
Yeah. I like that wild meat with just a hint of smoke to it.
Yeah.
It sort of adds that special to it.
Yeah.
Well, did you eat the whole moose there then? Or I mean the whole goat right on the spot?
Yes, just about.
Really? I was kidding, but you did, huh?
Yeah.
How many people?
Well, there was 6 or 7 of us.
Yeah, a goat isn't that big, is it?
No.
So you guys just sat around and ate and ate and ate, huh?
Yeah. It was too good to let alone.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You know how the Indians used to cook fish? They would take a salmon and they would cut it, you know, and then lay it out flat like this, the halves together, still stuck together. And then they peg it on a piece of wood, you know, driftwood or something, and then lean it up next to the fire and let it broil, you know. Oh boy, I did that one time. Was that ever good? Oh, was that good? That's the way to cook, boy.
That's the way to cook fish.
Yeah, it sure was. Awful good. Yeah.
In Vancouver one time, they had an Indian potlatch over North Van,
Oh yeah, yeah.
and we went over.
Yeah.
And it was all Indian food. It was good too.
Did they charge you for it?
No,
That was a regular potlatch.
yeah,
Anybody welcome.
yeah.
That was nice, yeah. What year do you suppose that was in, when they did that?
Oh, in the 40s,
Yeah. During the war?
yeah.
What band of Indians would have been?
Salish.
Salish, yeah. Yeah.
You know the Salish is one of the biggest tribes there is.
Is that right?
They were bring down as far as Seattle.
Yeah. And they go all the way through to Alaska, don't they?
I don't know, I guess they are pretty well off.
Yeah. Then they got broken down into subgroups too, right?
Yeah.
Like Nootka
Yeah,
and Bella Coola and Bella Bella
yeah,
and Quackato,
yeah.
Quackato,
That's
Quackato,
true.
and Haida
Yeah.
and oh yeah,
Did you know that Seattle was named after an Indian chief?
yeah, I did, yeah, I just happened to, right,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Chief Seattle.
Mm-hmm. And
Did you know many Indians? Did you know them?
I used to know quite a few,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
They used to freight through from Princeton to Merritt.
Oh, they would carry the freight for people.
Yeah,
Yeah. With wagons?
yeah. And people talk about the Indians. Low down people they are.
Huh.
That you can't get a better person than an Indian.
I know. They had a high sense of values, a very high sense of
Yeah.
right and wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was just reading a story about these Indians up by on the Chilcotin River there,
Mm-hmm.
and this lady and her 2 kids. She was destitute. It was during the Depression, So she went out to a ranch, and the rancher said, you can have this old building to live in this winter if you can fix it up. And she bought 2 sacks of flour, 98-pound sacks of flour, and that's all she had money for, 2 sacks of flour. She had 2 kids and herself. And she's trying to scratch a garden out of the ground, you know, and trying to pick berries and stuff like this. And these Chilcotin Indians across the river knew that she'd moved in there. And one morning she came out, and there were 2 Indian braves there, and they had 2 pack horses. And they had 2 moose on the horses, you know, quartered up.
Mm-hmm.
And they dropped them on the ground there and said, yours, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next year, they brought dried fish after the spring run, you know. They brought dried fish and gunny sacks for her.
Mm-hmm.
Never expected a thing from her.
No.
Just, they were people that needed food,
Yeah.
and we have food, and we share it. That was the way they felt.
Well, we used to say if there's anything, if you were out in the hills and there's anything stolen, don't bother the Indians.
Yeah,
Go to the white man's camp and
Yeah.
you'll find it.
yeah, yeah. Traps and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. True enough. The Indians I've known have been that way too. Pretty upright people.
Yeah.
It's only that through alcohol that many of them met their met their downfall,
Yes.
and that was the white man's fault
It was,
for
yes.
bringing the alcohol in. Without alcohol, they'd probably managed fine, but when they got hooked on that, well, it's just like any white man that gets hooked on alcohol,
Yeah.
same thing, you know, they become addicted and that's it. Can you remember the names of any of your Indian friends around here? Or?
What was the name? I forget now. Spacham.
Spockham?
Spacham, yeah.
Was he
Full-blood Indian.
was he a man that used wagons? Did he carry freight?
Yeah, he was from Caramias.
Spockham,
Spacham,
yeah.
And then there was Squacham too.
Squawkum, yeah. There were 2 men?
Well, it was a family.
Oh, yeah. Did you know the Tur baskets?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tur baskets. They're still quite a large group down there in
Mhm.
Caramias, yeah.
Mhm.
I remember I took the picture of one of them. He says, "What do you want a picture of me for?" But he was all dressed up in buckskins. Looked pretty
Yeah.
handsome people then.
Well, I shot a deer one time in the first part of the season. He had shed all his
Oh yeah.
old hair and
Yeah.
just the new hair coming.
Just coming, yeah, yeah.
And I skinned him and tacked the skin up on the wall.
Uh-huh.
And this Indian come along. And, we knew him. And he looked over and he said, "Nice skin you got there." He said, I tell my wife. So she came over and she examined it. She said, "I give you 2 pair of gloves and a coat, an Indian coat, with that skin."
Really? Yeah, yeah. Oh. Well, you traded it right away,
You
didn't
bet
you? Yeah.
And that coat lasted me till, oh God knows how long.
Yeah.
And you could get it wet and dry it out and just as soft as could be.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Was that smoke tan leather? You smoked
Yeah.
it? Yeah. Soft, nice,
Mm-hmm.
and warm too.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah, there's something about buckskin that makes it nice and warm.
Well, I never wore anything else but buckskin gloves in winter time.
Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. You don't have arthritis in your fingers either, do you?
No.
Yeah, probably that's one of the reasons, huh?
Is it?
Yeah.
No, the only trouble I have is with my knees.
Yeah.
This one there.
Been kicked by too many horses.
No. This one was, I was working on the Georgia Towers in Vancouver.
Oh, yeah.
And I stepped on the tie rod.
And it rolled?
It rolled.
Oh, gee. Oh, boy.
I fixed that. And this other knee here, I was bringing the cows in on the ranch one after supper.
Mm-hmm.
And along on the log, and I stubbed my toe in the figure sticking up. And I thought, that laid me up for a long time too. In fact, it still comes out once in a while.
Oh, your knee comes out of joint?
Yeah,
Oh, boy.
both knees do.
Oh, gee. That's painful getting them back in, too, isn't it?
Well, no,
Huh?
not this one.
Oh.
I just take and give it a shove and it snaps back into place.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, when I hurt this knee, mother went to neighbors and phoned the doctor. And he was in Princeton. And he said, guys, you just got me in time. I was just leaving. He said, I had an emergency case in Caramillas. So he told her what to do. So he said, put him in bed and just leave the knee as it is.
And I'll come out.
And bandage it.
Yeah.
He says, and tell him to put the knee up and put a little pressure on it every once in a while.
Yeah.
And finally it got into place.
And it finally worked itself back in, huh?
Yeah.
Hmm.
But this one here, well, I don't know if you can notice the difference in it. Yeah, put that on to keep it in place.
Mm-hmm. Little bandage, a little pressure, elastic band, huh?
Yeah.